going to be something worth watching. But
yes,
we're holding out
until we actually
reservation.
You're not. Yeah,
until we actually see it, because like as that current evidence, like it's never a good thing when they try to Americanize something.
Well, they Americanized the shit out of Power Rangers and it fucking worked.
That's true, because Super Sentai was Japanese, and then Haim Saban kind of took the footage
amazingly.
Yeah, he got super rich. He actually got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame now.
Haim Saban did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that seems fair to me, but it's
I mean,
one of those,
he's
had
cemented
a TV
himself
show for 23 years. He, I mean, it makes sense.
He lost ownership of it for a while. Disney owned it for a while during, admittedly, some of the really shitty seasons like Dino Thunder.
Is that with the guy that killed his roommate guy?
That's
Wild Force,
which was still Disney though. Dino Thunder is the one where Tommy Oliver spin kicks a T-Rex in the face.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Anyways, that guy got convicted and sentenced to jail.
Oh, really? For killing his roommate?
With a sword?
Well, he finally admitted it wasn't self-defense. I was like, you stabbed him with a samurai sword. Self-defense was never an option.
I don't know, but when someone comes at me, and I'm going to whip out a samurai sword.
Where's your samurai sword, man?
A true ninja will never tell.
I want to know if when
your
his roommate was his roommate yelling, "There can only be one."
Which would be amazing. That would be the way that I would want to go.
He yelled, "There can only be one," and came at me. And I yelled, "Came at me."
If I lose my mind and I come yelling at you guys and saying there can only be one, do it.
Do it?
Do it. I give you full permission. Just do it. And then
no, you have to say, "I, James Kramer, being of sound mind and body."
If I lose my sound mind and body.
If I start calling myself the Kurgan.
Yes. If I claim to be the Highlander, or start talking like Sean Connery would talk as a Spaniard.
I would just worried you had a stroke.
That very well could be.
That movie is super entertaining, but it's so bad in a lot of ways.
The first one's great, man.
Oh, it's entertaining.
And then when they brought in the other McLeod, I like that one too. But
the TV show?
No, the movie where I forget the name of it, but anyway, it's the two of them.
Oh, Highlander Endgame.
Yeah, and the first Connor sacrifices himself or whatever, and
yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But Ghost in the Shell, we're hopefully optimistic, but not expecting miracles.
Nope, not really. We already got a miracle with Power Rangers, so
yeah,
it's got a long road, only for the sole fact that it's Americanizing so much from what it had, the source material, and it's not sticking to one specific storyline. It's as Kaylin said,
it's pulling from all sorts of stuff to make one kind of brand new
mega
movie.
mix Ghost in the Shell.
Basically. And I don't know, maybe it'll be fun. Maybe they'll have some great action sequences. Maybe they'll actually incorporate some of the philosophies that have been discussed in Ghost in the Shell, but who knows?
Well, and seeing the trailer,
Major is as a character.
Well, some of the some things
it just reminds me of Blade Runner so much. Man,
yeah,
the trailer.
It does.
And even the anime itself, with like the moving billboards and some of the helicopter animations and stuff where they get the wings and they just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
It just reminds me a lot of Blade Runner.
Well, I know
it's
one major
entirely
thing.
possible he got influenced by it though too. Blade Runner is
84.
Yeah, and Blade Runner is endlessly influential.
When did the manga come out of Ghost in the Shell? Was that before or after Blade Runner? I would have to imagine it would be after Blade Runner.
It's on the floor right there.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking for. Thank you for pointing that out.
Ross Kogan knocked it off the thing.
Oh, okay.
May of 89 to November of 90. So that is...
So it's a few years.
Chair.
So it's a few years after Blade Runner happened.
Yeah, like 5 full years.
Okay, so yeah, I think that'd be a long enough time to...
And it was Dark Horse, published by Dark Horse in the United States.
That's because I think Dark Horse actually published quite a bit of manga. I don't know that they still do.
I mean, it's kind of up their alley, that kind of weirder, darker stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing about this movie that's kind of prevalent through the trailers is that Major is, like, it's not as cut and dry, her origin story. Apparently that they didn't save her life, they took it from her and then made her into this weapon for the government. and now she has going to be on a journey to find out who did it and why, and who was she before all this. And so that'll be it will definitely tackle the identity aspect of Ghost in the Shell. Okay. So that's at least one thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely going to go see it just because it looks like an amazing ride.
Oh yeah, it looks
if
wild.
nothing else. But I don't think that, like I said, I think that if they were to stick to basically reproducing this anime, that I think it's going to fail terribly.
Oh, it would fail.
Because
people don't want to sit in a movie theater and think.
Well, it's not about thinking; it's about being uninformed.
Right.
Because that's the way I came into watching the anime. I was uninformed. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You're sitting there going, "What is this? Like I had to ask you, what's this setting? What's going on? What's going on?
Who is she? Why is she doing it?
Why? Yeah. What's
the
going
whys.
on right
We're missing
now?
some whys.
And then I started watching it, and then we got to the scuba scene, and I'm like, time out. What the fuck is going on, dude?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you kind of explain ghosts, and that's the voice of her ghost, but everybody can hear it, and all this stuff. That's stuff that they don't talk about in the anime itself, which I really hope if they incorporate any of that into the movie itself,
they'll explain it.
They explain it. Otherwise, people are going to go,
I wonder if that's
shit is going on?
I wonder if that's like a cultural thing.
Well, what is...
Like what? Is it an American thing where you just want all the answers?
Inception is an example of movie that you have to think about while you watch, and that's a good example of that people give a movie like that a shot. But you guys are explaining, you cannot have a movie, at least with American audiences, I feel. Because I think Kayla might be onto something and might be right with the whole cultural thing. I think it's honestly...
Maybe that's just how their storytelling is, and ours is different, because we need a backstory. We need a once upon a time. We need,
We need to know some of that background information, Not necessarily why do they exist, but at least what they are. So we're not like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, because if we just watched... if you did just watch Inception without any explaining as to what they're doing or who they are, you would just be like, what?
Yeah, and they have it, though, and that's the thing.
And they did explain it, and they explain it a lot, and to a degree that it is pretty,
All right, well, I stand corrected. I really hope that they stick with the anime, because I just looked to see who was writing this for screenplay.
What?
And the first person on the list is screenplay by Jamie Moss.
Okay.
And Jamie Moss has written Street Kings, Spectral, and then Ghost in the Shell. The second person is Aaron Kruger.
Oh.
Okay.
Dracula 2000, Reindeer Games, The Ring, Rings, The Ring 2, Skeleton Key, Brothers Grimm, Blood and Chocolate, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Scream 4, Transformers Dark Side of the Moon, Transformers Age of Extinction, and Ghost in the Shell.
We're fucked. We are fucked.
That's what I was trying to say.
I know. I was like, no, you're not going to steal my thunder, man. I did all this work to look it up.
I wish someone would, because you stole mine a couple weeks ago.
Of all of those movies...
thunder?
You stole my punchline.
I just said it. I didn't know you were telling the joke.
Of all of those movies on that list that Aaron Kruger wrote, Scream 4 is probably the only one I gave any shits about.
But James...
Yes.
Did you know that anything affected in the real world is not affected in the mirror dimension?
No shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
Doctor Strange.
So starring this movie, this Japanese movie is starring Scarlett Johansson.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Born in Manhattan. White. Michael Pitt. Born in New Jersey.
White.
Philo Asbake. Born in Denmark. White. Chin Han. Singapore. And Juliette Binoche. Born in France. White.
One guy. The one Asian.
One out of the top 5.
One of the top 5 is Asian.
So I think the real moral of the story here is whitewashing of Hollywood.
Absolutely.
Wait,
I mean, if you guys like John Oliver, he did a little segment called...
said Chin Han, and then did you say Takeshi Kitano?
Who's
Chief Daisuke Aramaki.
Yeah, maybe 7 lines.
So the older man in the anime who was kind of like running the joint.
Mm-hmm, the white hair guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, towards the bottom there's a lot more. There's Denuz... No, not that one.
That's because they have lines like, oh shit, or don't kill me.
Or man with groceries.
Man with groceries.
It's like Exodus all over again, where it's like all the big name people are white, and then once you get lower, like the slaves are black, and you're like, wait, what?
Oh, there's another part of why Avi Arad is producing.
Yep. I hear it.
God, he pisses me off.
Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know?
I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. His name is familiar to me, but I can't really.
He's the producer for all the Spider-Mans that Sam Raimi directed.
Oh.
And all the Andrew Garfield ones, I think,
That's
too.
why it sounds familiar.
Also, Fantastic Four in 1994. These films.
Oh, that really terrible one that's like never seen the
Blade
light day.
Trinity, Elektra, Fantastic Four of 05, X-Men Last Stand, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man 3, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer.
So like all the really bad Marvel movies.
And he gets a special thanks for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, no, the first Fantastic Four with...
The
I
first
can't
one
pronounce his
was
fucking name as Mr. Fantastic.
Eowyn? Eowyn?
Yeah,
Eowyn
that guy.
Gruffified? Yeah.
I don't think that one was terrible.
Gryffindor?
I mean, it was...
Ian Gryffindor?
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
And I actually kind of liked the Elektra movie.
Ooh, Avi Arad wrote Robo Sapien Rebooted.
Oh,
Or produced
God.
it. Yeah.
Okay,
No idea what that
so the team behind this is less than encouraging.
Yeah, Margot Robbie was originally in talks for the lead role, though.
Oh, so glad she didn't do that shit.
Right? She probably passed it. They're like, you could do Suicide Squad or Ghost in the Shell.
I'll go
She's
be
like,
Harley
that's literally
Quinn.
what it was.
that one. The other one.
They fell apart whenever she was cast as Harley Quinn.
Good.
And I was like, yay!
So real quick, we need to cover something that we didn't cover last episode. Thor, Unworthy
Yes,
Thor.
Unworthy Thor.
Yeah, we're at that point.
Unworthy
minutes
Thor
here.
has ended. And
Jason Aaron is off of another book.
Yes.
But looks like he's bringing that character to the Mighty Thor.
Well, hold on, because there might be another Thor book. Actually,
Okay.
there most likely will be another Thor book. The War Thor or the Ultimate Thor.
War Thor, that's right.
At the very end of the book, Thor said, "It's not my hammer. I'm not going to pick it up." He's like,
But why? Why was he unworthy?
Because Gore was right.
Gore was right. What did Gore say?
He said that the gods are no better than men, and they're all unworthy.
And so now Thor just refuses to pick up a hammer.
Yep.
This ought to be interesting.
So
what
he
does that mean he's going to use?
the axe.
Oh, the axe? So
Yeah.
He still has his axe, and he still has
And-
Tooth Gnasher
And the dog,
and Thory.
Thory.
That's
But
a great name
then,
for a dog, by the way.
The
It
last
almost
couple.
sounds like Mike Tyson trying to say
He's
something.
drinking mead at the end. He goes, "This is way better than murder."
Yes, he loved it.
Yes.
It's more thirst quenching than murder.
Yeah.
And then
Does
the
he
last.
shatter the cup and go, I'll have another!
No, he's
No.
drinking. He's lapping
How
off the
fuck?
ground
He's a dog. How can he pick anything up? He has no thumbs.
with his mouth.
It sounds like Mike Tyson trying
Yeah.
to say story. That was a good story.
That's a good story.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. So the last couple of panels show someone said, "I hear you, the thunder calling my name, and that we need a new Thor, a war Thor." You see like a purple gloved hand grab it, and then the last panel is just a giant bolt of lightning hitting the ground. So
Thanos.
no,
Thanos doesn't wear purple gloves.
where's the yellow gloves? He is purple,
That's right.
or at least it looked purple. It was
He
just
is
dark
purple.
gloves.
He's purple.
No, it was the
Yeah.
character who picked up the hammer. It looked purple in the panel. But I don't
So
know.
new character or existing character that's going to be taking on a new mantle?
Original,
I think
Clint.
it's
What the fuck is his last name? Hawkeye. Original purple suited Hawkeye.
He needs
No.
something to do.
yeah, right.
I can't think of his last name.
Clint Barton.
That's it. I was thinking Burton. I was like, it's not
I
right.
think it's going to be a pre-existing character, but who previously didn't have a very big role. So now we're going to have Mighty Thor and then Ultimate Thor or War Thor or whatever they're going to call the title.
Yeah. So we're going to have
2 Thor books.
the Thor
still.
we know going to Mighty Thor and hooking up with Jane.
Yeah.
And then a new Thor book probably.
Yes.
Written by God knows who. Well, thank you for joining us this week as we discussed Ghost in the Shell and, solicitations and all kinds of fun stuff. Make sure to join us next week. We are going to be discussing Kingsman, A Secret Service. Thank you to Rock Bottom Comics. I will forgive you until I see you. You son of a bitch. Maher, I'm always watching. Come in and find us on Google search, the podcast, the Comic Book Podcast. Find us on iTunes,
YouTube.
Podcast
Spreaker,
Republic.
Podcast Republic, all that shit. We're out there. Find us. Signing out for the week, I'm James.
I'm Kalen.
And I'm Cody.
And we will see you guys next week when we're talking about Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Secret Service.